Hi, my name is Ken Todd. I'm Lisa Vanderpump's husband, the person that carries Jiggy, and I give a good shout out to Weho Sports.
I'm DJ.
This is Jimmy Rollins, and you're watching Weho Sports Show. Thank you very much.
Hey, this is Kike Hernandez, and you're watching Weho Sports Show.
I'm Justin Turner, and you're watching the Weho Sports Show.
I am watching Weho Sports.
Welcome to Weho Sports. My name is Raul Alonso, and I'm your host. Today we have a very exciting show for you. As you can see, Tranisha is over here to my left.
Hi, Sonny, how you doing and stuff? Hanging out in the studio.
And we got some lovely people visiting us.
Yes.
Of course.
Hey, boo.
You might see a beautiful shirt that I have. It's from, I guess, our designer that is, I guess I call him our designer because he's from West Hollywood own.
Yes,
and his name is Pedro Rubio. Welcome, senor. How
Hello.
are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Yes,
Hello,
Sonny, how you doing and stuff?
Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi.
Yes. Hey, just in the house, everybody, y'all.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Pedro, so people can know.
My name is Pedro Rubio. I'm a local West Hollywood fashion designer. I'm actually born and raised here in Los Angeles. I was born in downtown LA. I did grow up in San Diego and moved up as a teenager straight to West Hollywood. I was ready as soon as I came out and
Out of the womb?
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, I am 17 and ready to skate.
Yeah, exactly. So I packed up my bags and I headed to West Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I've lived in West Hollywood ever since, and so I always wanted to have a clothing store here in West Hollywood. So one day I was just walking down the street and I was looking for places. I kept not finding where I wanted to go. Everything was just not the right price point. And then I just walked down the street and I found my store, and it was the perfect match. And I've been there now. October will be 7 years.
7 years? Oh my God, that is like a relationship and stuff. And in the gay world, that never happened. You know what I'm saying? 7 years is a long time. But you've been making some beautiful pieces out of your store, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yes.
And you call yourself a tailor instead of a designer. Can you explain to our viewers the difference, why you call yourself that? Because your clothes is the bomb. So
Thank you.
And I'm wearing one of those right now.
See,
You probably
me
can't
too,
tell right
I
now.
can't.
But I'm wearing a little nut piece that's so cute that fits me like a
Fantastic.
glove. It's amazing. Look at me. Ooh. Awesome. Imagine it without the shirt, but like honestly, like you could wear it in West Hollywood and be like, yes, honey, I'm fierce and I'm doing my thing and I look amazing. So,
Yes.
and I love your shirt too.
Oh, thank you. That's all his work. Can stitch and everything.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
we're going to see a little bit of him. Why don't we show where your store is? Because we went to your store.
Yes,
So people,
fantastic.
for
Please
people
do.
know where it's at. It's right here down the street off of Santa Monica and Fairfax.
That's correct, yes.
Right in the corner there. So you
Yes.
can't miss it. So this is a little bit of what I took.
This is the hand tailoring method for doing the hem of pants. You need to first stabilize it all so that you can do a nice even hem. It's not done on a machine, it's done by hand. So it comes out much more professional and clean. This way.
So how much of your clothes is hand tailored like what you're doing now? Is it everything hand tailored like that?
Yes, and so it just depends on if it's what it is. Like something would require the machines, but mostly
Right.
everything has touches of hand. Yes,
Okay.
everything has a little bit of a hand touch. Yeah.
So before we move on to show some of your clothes, you brought some of your clothes here.
I did,
We're wearing
yes.
some of your clothes.
Yes.
Explain us a little bit of how your whole store came about, how you became a tailor, because you started at age 7.
Yes, when I was
7?
Yes, I was just a wee little lad.
Y'all 7. You were a dog. When I was 7, I was doing like nails and stuff, and you were like making clothes. It's amazing.
Perfect match.
Yeah, because I was always seeing things on television or in magazines, and I wanted to have that look, and so I figured that I could just do it myself, you know.
Yes.
Why not, right? So I actually went and to my mother and asked her if she would teach me how to sew, because there was a sewing machine in the house, and she was like, nope.
Boys
I know how this is going to go down.
Boys don't do that.
Not today. Nope.
So in the spirit, you know, of course, you know, being who I am, I just waited a few days, and I got the machine. I took it into my bedroom, and then it became mine. And I just taught myself how to sew. And so I would just I started by pegging my pants. This is like circa 80s, you know, and like pegging. Everyone was at that time was like doing a turn back and a turn, but I was literally tailoring them tapered. So I had my own kind of unique, you know, kind of look. And I would go to school, and this is like elementary school and in junior high school, and people would always wonder where I got my clothes, and I would just say I would just make it myself.
I made it myself, bitch.
Yeah, so that was how. Well, because I was always a small guy, you know, like, you know, thin, and, you know, like I'm 5'8" now, but I was, you know, much shorter than, you know, back then, and so I always had trouble finding clothes that fit me well. So that was really my inspiration, and I also, you know, would see that other people had fit issues too, you know, not just myself. So that was always really my inspiration.
I saw other people like, your fit is a mess, girl. You know, you need some tailoring, boo. That is not fresh, honey. I don't know what you doing, but you know what? You need to come see me in my workroom. I'm gonna sew you something cute, because that's a hot mess, girl. I've been there.
Right, and the hot mess part, we know that.
Let's not go there with the hot message, shall we? We're gonna call people out. But anyways.
Yeah, and then from then I went into retail, and then I went into visual merchandise and display work. And then I was actually out at the Rage here in West Hollywood. This is in my early 20s, and I met this guy. We were just talking, and he liked my fashion, he liked what I was wearing, and we started talking and drinking. And then he's like, oh, you know, sometimes I need help doing display work. I said, okay, you know, sure. And a year later, he called me, and then I started doing the windows at Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Gianfranco Ferré on Rodeo Drive.
Yo,
working.
Serious, you me.
Yeah, so
I saw that movie Mannequin. Was you up ordered that movie and stuff?
Yes.
Does that you was kind of like dressing those windows, but like, yeah, honey,
Exactly.
that is a cute little kid, girl.
Yeah, like these are my people right here. I know them well.
Hey, boo.
I know people have these strange, you know, the things about mannequins. They you know, they scare them, or they think they're weird or strange. But to me, they're just normal. Like they've always been part of my thing.
And you chose beautiful mannequins anyway. So how will people be scared? And then this outfit here is to die for.
Sorry, but you can't see it, but he's got a little package on right here. Hey, boo.
This show goes to the gutter. This show goes to the gutter real quick. You know, Tranisha is uncontrollable, so
we love her.
But
thank you.
That's how we actually met.
That's how we met.
That's how we met. Yes, exactly.
We were actually filming Tranisha on the streets, and you walked up, and
we started chatting.
And here we are.
Yes.
Yeah, honey. So these are beautiful. Like this is like a really delicious like fabric. Can you tell me how you choose your fabric?
Actually, there's a local fabric store called International Silk and Woolens, and I go there and get a lot of my fabrics from there. I used to spend a lot of other people's money there when I worked at doing the window display.
Right.
And so now I built a relationship with
them.
and now they know me, and so I can go there, and they always give me a good price, and you know, they let me choose fabric, and they give me even sometimes pieces to go ahead and try something out, and then
that's
great.
Yeah,
That's great.
So that's where I found actually this particular fabric there, and and I'm really interested in like textures and color. I think a lot of times menswear lacks color, and details. Sometimes it gets to be very plain.
Yeah.
So that's why I like things.
So describe something that a man should wear, because I know a lot of us don't wear the right thing, or we just throw
masculine. What are you wearing? No, girl, take it off.
We just throw something on thinking that it looks badass and it's a hot mess. So how can we figure it out? Because I'm wearing your shirt right now.
Yeah.
And I feel fly. I put it on, and the fit on it and everything, it was like perfect. Like you have measured me before. Yeah. And I think that's the kind of stuff that we're supposed to wear, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that the thing is that a lot of clothes that is out there in the general sort of stores or places, when you go to design school, they give you these measurements, and they say this is what a medium should be, or this is what a large should be, and someone who's 6'2" should be this waist size, but we all know that that's not reality. That no one fits in those kinds of things. So what I try to do when I design my clothing is I try to hit those odd numbers and hit those places that are not being targeted, and I think that's where we all really lie in those places right in the middle, in those pockets, of fit. So that's kind of what.
Or most of us do not have the slightest idea, and
right?
That's why we are a hot mess.
And I think that personally, like calling yourself a tailor is fantastic, because you know what, most people in West Hollywood have very different body, right?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying on myself, but I'm saying in general, like I'm a little bit thick in the back trunk area, so it's hard to find pants. We're not gonna go there. But anyways, it's hard to find some things that fit, that really, you know what I mean? So as a tailor, it's easier for you to go in and be like, listen, let's just put this in here, take this in here, and make it fit to your body, instead of saying I'm a designer, because as a designer, you just design clothes. But as a tailor, I think you actually fit the clothes to fit the body that you're actually dressing. So that makes it a little bit different, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, how do you really go in and make sure that everybody's happy as far as the figure? So some people don't like it too tight, but they really want to show off their body.
Well, I think what I like to say is like inches off the body. There's certain amount of inches that are off the body that are good enough looseness and tightness, because it's things shouldn't be so tight that it looks almost a sausage effect. There needs to be just that slight amount of ease, in it, throughout the body. I usually what I like to do is I like it to have a fit throughout the chest, and then skim off the body and have a little bit of looseness through here. I think that's where you feel a little more comfortable.
That's kind of what you're doing right here with this little number right here. Yeah. It's the top, and it's slimming everything else. I mean, I'm already fierce, but I feel like, the top is really where the fit is, and then the bottom is yes, honey, it's I'm wearing a corset, but not really.
And I mean, what I like about you, that you do both. You do men and women clothes.
Yes, yeah, that was.
I do men and women too, but not clothes usually. But it's being versatile. I think that's really the best thing, and you've got some beautiful things that you brought today.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I branched.
You want to show us some?
Yeah, I branched
have some on film, but you brought him here. So
I branched off into women's wear this last year. I decided that I wanted to, because some people that I knew, they're like, when are you gonna do women's? And so I was like, okay, I'll do it now. And so I started doing women's wear, and I try to bring that sort of tailoring aspect to women's wear, because women don't get that unless it's couture.
Right.
They don't. It's just not that way for women. So
are these things only available in your shop? Is that correct?
At the moment, yes. I'm going to start wholesaling to boutiques here in West Hollywood, probably starting out. But right now, it's all at my store in West Hollywood.
Ladies, go and get your life together at Pedro's, honey. He'll get you together. Let's look at some of your beautiful things.
Yeah, I guess I'll start with I love this. This is a beautiful dress that I put together.
Yes.
It's a beautiful little short dress.
I can see you on that.
I don't know if my breast fit in there because they're quite like juicy.
I think your trunk wouldn't fit on that.
I know, right?
I think
there's too much junk in this trunk for that, I think.
And,
so.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah, and this is actually a 60s vintage fabric. So because International Socomolas, they've been in business for a long time, so they'll let me go into the archives and get some like vintage fabrics that they have back there. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, so they let me go back there and do that, and then I also made this beautiful little jacket that you can like pair over top of it together.
Yes, honey.
Absolutely.
I love those buttons, honey. It's black and pink, honey. Just like the same thing. Like I'm black and then inside pink. sorry.
Yeah, so this is a great, and everything. I like to do things that are versatile and interchangeable. You know, like you can sort of wear this alone with something as well.
Right. It's like some black pants, a little cute little, you know what I mean, black dress or something.
Yeah, even a cute little pair of jeans, and little skinny jeans and some heels and a little tank top, and you're good to go.
Yes, honey.
Kind
Good
of
for
thing.
that.
That's
and
fantastic.
I'm excited about this black number over here. I'm just gonna say that. But
Yes, we'll jump to that one then.
Yes, honey.
Yes, this is
that's what I'm talking about.
We talked about it the other day, and it's kind of couture.
It is couture.
Yes.
I haven't seen anything like that, and I would look amazing on that because I have beautiful legs and a little small waist. I like, a really delicious, front half.
Yes.
But look at that, it's so breathable in the bottom.
In
It's
the
just
bottom,
like, it's just kind of like, I'm not that one.
I really like
it's really gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's actually 100% silk. Organza through the body, and then here it's a double, this double, and then it's a satin through the front.
To cinch the waist, honey.
And then what this is called, it's called horsehair. That's I put into hand stitched into the sides here.
Horsehair, like like this.
Exactly.
Horsehair. This is real. Anyways,
99 cents.
whatever. It was 6 cents. All right, I got a bargain. I knew the guy.
And this is actually I engineered this sort of it's actually a perfect square, and I engineered the circle and the way for it to fit into the body of the thing.
So wait, I thought it was like a skirt almost, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's a little peplum. It's called a peplum top.
Yeah, a peplum top. That's cute. So like, what do you wear underneath it? Like leggings or?
Yeah, like you would either like a pencil skirt or pencil or pencil pants.
Or hoochie shorts.
Or hoochie shorts.
Yeah.
You mean my Daisy Dukes that I wear my cheeks out?
That one. I didn't want to say all of that.
This is a great evening piece. I think it's just beautiful.
Yes, I would totally wear that to the red carpet, honey, because I do a lot of those.
And then also this is something that I'm proud of too. This is a jacket that I made. And
that is beautiful.
Yeah, and I actually these buttons that I used are vintage glass buttons as well. So I like to bring old school things into play as well, because I think some things are just modern, no matter what time they're from.
But the structuring on that coat is so beautiful. I think the detail is delicious. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, and it's all in it was called the princess line. So the more princess lines you cut, the more fit it has through the body.
You clearly made it for me. The princess line. That's me.
Yeah, and then you can just pair it off with a beautiful little simple little shift dress, underneath.
Yes.
Something really
anything I wear is never simple, but that would be simple on me just because, it's understated, kind of like, I am as well.
Yes.
Yes, honey.
And then we have, this is also, I think it is a fun little sort of sportswear look. Just something that it's a wrap skirt with a lightweight knit.
This is something that people can wear at this weekend in the festival that's happening. The Weho Sports Festival is happening on Memorial Day weekend. They can wear that at UCLA.
Yeah, and this fabric too. Whenever you make this wrap skirt, you're supposed to use a fabric that the print is equal on both sides, because when you see the underneath side, so a lot of times you see things and it's not the right kind of fabric for that design. So I'm careful to use the proper design, things, and there's this, even the detail here on the edge of it's called a marrowed edge, and I use this rainbow thread to give it this kind of rainbow colored edging all the way through.
Yes.
It fits perfect.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
what
you.
happens when you're a tailor. You
And-
actually know how to, like, you know what I mean, style clothes and make them look delicious and fit the same. Because sometimes the fit never is like the way that you really want it to.
And then this
this number.
And this is another piece I'm pretty proud of. It's my evening dress.
Yes.
And it has this, and it's 100% silk jersey. So there's nothing like silk jersey. You can take the feel on that.
Ooh, it's so soft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of like, ooh, and it's, yeah.
It has a nude lining.
I live for that.
Yeah. And so it has this sort of this shawl that is attached, that's ruched onto the side seam, so you can actually just sort of wear it over the shoulder. And I like, this has some functionality to me too, because I always see like women struggling at night because they're cold and they're like shivering, they're shaking in their heels, and they have nothing. So I like this because you can actually use this as a bit of a shawl and cover your shoulders, and then you don't have to worry about losing it because it's all attached.
I live for
And
that.
since you showed us that part, then we'll
Yeah.
show that part of the menswear when our director is ready.
Yeah, so these are a new T-shirt line that I did. I found this really beautiful fabric, and then I placed my patterns onto the fabric and placed them exactly where I wanted them to be. So and it also continues onto the sides. So it continues around.
That's the one I'm wearing.
It's a little different in camera.
That's the black version.
Don't hate.
No, it's cute.
I love
It's
it.
like wearing diamonds. It's so fluff, too.
This has
So fluff.
cheetah print on the bottom,
That's the one you're wearing.
and then also
That's the one I'm wearing.
so this all
I love
patterns
it.
are all laid by hand to make sure you get the right pattern. And then the swimsuits, they come in the variations with this.
Excuse me.
And then and this one is all
Swimsuits.
cheetah print. And then
Yeah.
these garments, I put them all by hand. I put them in there so that it has a drawstring, and then it's also fully lined on the front and back, so that it protects the fabric a little better.
How much mental work goes into all your stuff? I imagine a lot.
Yes, a lot. Actually, I think this will probably attest to something of how it is for me mentally. Like when I really want things to be engineered in a certain manner. Like for example here, the way I placed the pocket on here, I made sure that the pattern was not broken up. You see?
Oh, you evened it out.
You see? So I made sure that that I made it so that it goes right along. See? The pattern doesn't break. You know, things like that. And also here on the pocket too. The way this piece here, it's cut as well so that it matches all the way up and down as well. And also on the sides, so that all the lines, all the plaids go aligned together like that. You know, and also even working buttons, button fly, all that stuff. All these buttons, I put them all on myself by hand. Hammer them in. So all that gets done, and then the last touch that sew my label.
I think that's the most important part, right? The label.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. So
Yeah.
that's just a little bit. We show a little bit of your clothes because you show some of the female clothes. I wanted to show some of the male clothes.
Fantastic.
And then you also make accessories too. I see we have like some snakeskin accessories over here and stuff too. Now, usually, a python or snakes usually are like, something that's really long, like a snake. But this is really cute. Like, I would be like, y'all, honey, I'm at the club. I'm like, y'all, squirrel. You don't want the snake skin because I will backhand your face.
And this is not Wonder Woman things.
Wonder Woman. No, they're not. They are
No,
not.
but
it's really beautiful.
You do that, and you also do necklace and stuff now, jewelry and stuff, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, this is something new that I started doing here, and I liked using this. I found this new black sort of chain that I really fell in love with, and it comes in different styles. And then I paired it off with these angel wings, and now I started working with a jewelry designer, and we actually put black diamonds on the necklace as well.
Black diamonds.
Yeah, so I'm moving into
it looks very
so
beautiful.
I'm moving into the.
You really have to pay attention to see the details, but that goes with the same thing as details for the clothing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everything has to have little touches and details to make it a little bit special.
Now, let's say I came into your store and I noticed that you have some swimwear. Now, would you be able to tailor that to fit these cakes? Because these cakes are delicious and they are a little bit bigger than normal cakes, but in so small me waist. So you'll be able to fit you know what I mean, to my body type. Yes. I don't want it too baggy, but I want to fit it enough so they can see the junk and the trunk.
Yeah, so, this is when a tailor becomes a baker.
It's better for let's put it the way it is.
And then I will tailor your cakes.
Yes, cake. But I heard that before. I heard that on Sunday when we met him, I heard that he said he was going to work on your cakes. Yeah, so I don't know what that means.
That means the video's coming, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see the cakes and something else similar to this right here. I don't know if it's going to shine bright like a diamond, but the cakes will be covered, honey. We're going to do that.
So what's next for you?
What's next? Well, I continuing my ready-to-wear line, so that customers can come into the store, and sort of, because I was by appointment for a long time, so now people can come in and pick up garments, and then at the store, and then the alterations and the tailoring will be part of the cost, and that way, if it needs a little nip, a little touch here, or a little hem or something, it can all be done there at the store. I was. In all the luxury stores I worked for Chanel and Gianfranco Ferré and all these stores, part of the whole thing is you have to have a tailor on hand, because all that clothes as the high-end designers as you get, it still has to fit on a person.
Right. Yeah.
Because that was always the thing that inspired me to want to do my own collection too, and incorporate tailoring into it, because all these beautiful clothes, they would be on the rack, but they didn't fit anybody.
Right.
Even as beautiful it is, it's hanging on a hanger, but once it goes on the person, that's when the magic happens. That's when the little touch goes here, you add a little there, take a little wear here, and then that's when the beauty happens and the magic, and the customer starts feeling alive and gorgeous, yes. and then that sigh of relief comes, and they're like, oh, I look good.
Yes.
And I think that's the magic, because we can all design things, but it needs to go onto a person, and then it needs to fit that person, and it needs to have some sort of functionality,
Well,
so.
Pedro, it's almost time for us to go. I want to say thank you for coming. I hope you will come back and visit us again.
I will. Thank you so much.
Some more of your stuff. Please tell us right quick where they can find your store and how they can get a hold of you.
Yes, so please stop by. The store is 1065 North Fairfax Avenue at the corner of Santa Monica and Fairfax. And the phone number is 323-229-9448. Please stop by and check it out. I have a lot of beautiful clothes for all you beautiful people.
And we'll see you from Trinicia.
Yes,
and
Pedro. Check out Trinicia on the streets.
See you next week. Same time. Probably not the same people. Adios.